This deck, this Gallantmon deck, this will incinerate your opponents. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today we want to talk about Gallantmon. I built this fun budget Gallantmon deck in an attempt to, spice things up. Because Red Omnimon is kind of the big meta right now, but Gallantmon isn't really touched. People were really hyping this deck when the game first came out for pre-release, but it's kind of fallen off the radar since then, so I figured it's time to give it a shot. This particular list has not seen any tournament play. It's only seen fun gameplay, and it won a lot of fun matches, black, blue, purple, and it did lose a couple matches. It only lost to Purple Venom Myotismon. Yeah. For some reason, that card just chokes up this deck. Every time it dropped on the field, if I didn't have a Gaia Force immediately to take care of it, it would just run away with the game. Because this deck just had something about that extra little memory that Venom Myotismon gets when you attack with your things. It's just too much. I don't know what to say. But I did take some matches on that deck as well, so it definitely went back and forth. And I can understand that people say that this deck is good against purple, because it is. And we'll talk about it as we talk about what cards I picked. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and smash the notification bell into Smash Potatoes. That way you know when more awesome Digimon videos like this are out. Okie dokie, so we're starting with our babies. 1 Yokomon and 4 Koromon. The deck still likes to work up all the way from 2 to 6, so Koromon's very good, giving that extra 1,000. And then just 1 Yokomon, because 1,000 when attacking a Digimon isn't terrible. Moving on to the 3s, we play 4 of the Agumon that says when you play it, reveal top 5 cards, add a Tamer, and put the rest on your bottom. We want this because we do play a couple Red Tamers. We want to see our Red Tamers for Gallantmon. We play 3 of this Agumon, the one that gives you plus 1,000. We're playing 4 Agumon Expert. Play it, add a card back from your discard to your hand with Agumon in the name. We play a total of 11 Agumon cards, so it's pretty live all the time. And then to top it off, we just play 3 of the 2 cost 3,000. And that's it for our 3s. All in all, 14 of them is pretty solid in my opinion. We play 12 level 4s. We play 4 of the Greymon that gives you security plus 1 on top of it. We play 4 of the Dark Tyrannomon because it costs 1. And we play 4 of the Blocker because the Blocker. Lineup's pretty straightforward. We'll talk about some combos you want to get with the Greymon later on, and that's it. That's it for the 4s. Now, we play 10 level 5s. We play 3 Garudamon. This is a card I haven't tried yet until this game. It has piercing, so if it does attack and kills a creature, it does do its security check that it normally would. That has come up, and that itself has won a couple of games. The Inheritable, though, if it's blocked to draw a card, that never actually came up. People were blowing out my Garudamons, especially against purple with things like Chimeramon, so we never really got to test its ability. I think it came off like a couple times. But it is good to have when it's there. I love to draw cards, so it's a good card, and yeah, overall it's a pretty good card. I don't know why I wasn't playing it before, but yeah, there we go. We play 3 of this particular Metal Greymon, because we're trying to keep it budget. That Metal Greymon is the one that says when attacking, gain 3 memory, but at the end of the turn, you lose that 3 memory. So it's good with things like Volcanicdramon to play it, and Gaia Force. So that's kind of cool. And the last level 5 we play 4 Skull Greymon. It kills blockers. A lot of people play blockers on me all the time, so this was great. All day. All day. Even if you just evolve it, great card. Now we play 8 level 6s, starting with our big boy Gallantmon. So here's the deal with Gallantmon. I love it and I hate it. It costs 4 to evolve, which is the reason why I'm iffy on it. It's this very similar to Vidramon, like in the last deck profile. Being 4 is really awkward because you'll start your turn with 3 memory usually, and then sometimes evolving to 4 is great, leaves your opponent at 1, and that's good. But sometimes you want to evolve, delete something with its ability. When you Digivolve and you have a Red Tamer, you kill something with 6,000 or less DP, and then you want to attack. And its attack says that if your opponent has 10 cards in their trash, for every 10 cards in their trash, you just trash 1 of their security cards without flipping it over. And that's honestly really freaking good. So there are turns where it came up where I was able to evolve, delete something, and attack and take out multiple cards. So this card's really broken. But sometimes leaving it with one memory wasn't the best play, because then they were able to out it on their turn. So really conflicted on it, but it is a really good card and the whole point of the deck. So there you go. And the reason why it goes so good against purple is, in case you haven't figured it out yet, is because they play a lot of trash. So sometimes you're popping off one security, sometimes even two. And it comes up. So Gallantmon, great card. The next one is 3 Volcanicdramon. There were times where this just fucking saved the day. Just destroyed things on play, wipe a board almost. Security +1. We'll go into the ideal setup with Volcanicdramon, but this card was stealing games. I think it actually did more work than Gallantmon did, if we're being perfectly honest. So I guess that's always a good sign. And we play one more level 6. We play this Wargreymon. This additional Wargreymon, I played it back with my Red Gallantmon Volcanicdramon deck. It was the main guy. When Digivolving, it gets an extra security check for the turn. And then when you're attacking, security skills don't activate. So, more purple hate, which is really funny. If you want to kill the opponent and not worry about things like Gaia Force or Hammer Spark, you just evolve this, attack with multiple securities, nothing matters, and then you just win that turn. And that came up a couple times. So, honestly, the one random tech, I was not disappointed by it at all. And costing 3 to evolve is really good too. That's it for Digimon. We play no Omnimon because this deck is intended to be as budget as possible. However, I do think that a more serious version of this deck should play Omnimon, probably a couple, maybe even 3. So just keep that in mind, that if I was taking those to a tournament, there would be Omnimons in it. But for fun budget deck, no Omnimon is fine. In this deck, we play 4 options, 4 Gaia Force. Best option in the game, just destroy something. And then we play 2 Tamers. We play 2 of that one. It makes your security attack +1 if you have a level 6 red with its full digital evolution line. And it's the Tamer that says, just go to 3 member and start your turn. Now that we got this whole deck profile out of the way, let's talk about some combos. So the main evolution line you kind of want to follow is Coremon, followed by Agumon for the extra 1000, the Greymon for the extra security, and then Garudamon, because if they block, you draw, and then your choice of, level 6s, right? Let's go on the extreme end and say Volcanicdramon here. So Volcanicdramon is going to have 12,000 attack points because of Agumon and this. And it's going to have security 1, then security for it, which is 2, security with this, which is 3. And if you play the Tamer, it's checking a total of 4 security cards. And I've pulled it off a few times, and when that happens, you just win games. Seriously, just uninterrupted. Friggin' 4 cards. There was one time where I pulled off this line, and the first check was an Omnimon, and that was kind of depressing. Like, I wanted to actually, just jump off a building, drink hydrochloric acid, stuff like that. But besides that, great line. And if you just swap it with Gallantmon, that's fine too, because this is 3 securities, and you might be even trashing an extra 1 with its effect anyway. So if you want to go for evolution lines, that's probably the way to go, and I would definitely recommend it. No other real way to do it. Now, talking about Volcanicdramon for a moment, this is the first deck where I've really prioritized this card. It's very valuable, but there are matchups where you need to evolve it, and there are matchups where you need to play it. So if you're playing against anything Rookie Rush, or if your opponent likes to Rookie Rush you, friggin' just play Volcanicdramon. Just do it, end their day. But if they're not playing a deck like that, then you just evolve it, and you take advantage of the security +1, and you just aggro them that way. That's all I want to say about Volcanicdramon. I think that's pretty straightforward, and a lot of people already know this, but in case you don't, there you go. The last thing I really want to mention are these Metal Greymons, these cards with the gain 3 leaves through memory. I am undecided on how I feel about them, to be perfectly honest, because these are only great if you have something big to follow up, like a Volcanicdramon or a Gaia Force. But if you don't, yeah, it gives you an extra memory to kind of do something else, and that came up. Like, I was able to attack, and then evolve another level 5 into a level 6, and do things with that. And that came up, but that is super situational. That takes a lot of cards. So, I don't know. I definitely see the merit behind these. If you don't like them, I don't blame you, because I'm kind of on the fence. But do try to prioritize these only when you need to use up a lot of your memory. That way your opponent's going to 10 anyway, probably, and that way you get more value. That's really all I want to say about Metal Greymon. Use at your own caution, I guess. Yeah, great card. So all in all, I think that this deck for a budget fun deck is pretty solid and can definitely hold its weight against decks like Blue Omnimon and Purple. I didn't test it against Red Omnimon, so I have no idea, but, you know, I think it's pretty good. And I think if you want a cheap deck to pick up until things settle down, this is a fun deck, and I would definitely recommend it. With that, we're going to call it a night. Or, yeah, it's night now, but you're going to see this in the morning, afternoon, or whatever. So we're going to call it a day, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.